Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS, who rules well, peace, and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is Civil Unrest in America. All right, and this is going to be a short video, but anyway, civil unrest in America. This, let me grab it right here. I typed in civil unrest. It says civil unrest is a broad term for collective disorder, like riots, protests, or strikes, resulting from public dissatisfaction with government, society, or economic conditions, disrupting public peace and often requiring official intervention, ranging from peaceful mass gatherings to violent clashes. Right, and this is where we're at. The scriptures say that the Most High Yahweh Bashmi Shai will visit this place, and when he's visiting this place, we will see these things happening in the world. And it's going to get to a point where it's going to increase, basically, right? Things are peaceful now. The prophets are here. The prophets are speaking. The prophets are letting you know what's going on. But pursuant to Amos 8:11, it's going to come a time where the prophets won't be so readily available, right? There's going to be a famine of the word. You won't be able to hear what's going on. So you need to prepare yourself by, for one, getting this word into you, returning back to Yahweh Bashmi Shai, right? And also not participating in the uproars of the people. You don't want to be outside, just trying to block what's happening, because what's happening, right, is the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. All right. The scriptures plainly tell you that all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? Me, right here, let me grab Matthew 24:3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what should be the sign of thy coming? In the end of the world, right? The scriptures say Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So something happens next, right? These devils, right? These people in power, they're Edomites, and they're going to end their current world by destroying themselves. Ecclesiastes, right? It says 9:6. Says where is it at? Slack every second, Ezra 6:9. It says for Esau, second Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, it says for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So the end of the world here is talking about the end of an age, right? We understand that the Most High Yahweh Bashmi Shah, pursuant to Daniel, allowed the different kingdoms to rule, and after the Roman Empire, the divine kingdom will be set up, right? The divine kingdom, and divine kingdom is that of the Israelites, right? That's the Jacob. So basically, the end is going to come through these devils, right? And that's what's playing out according to Bible prophecy. So you don't want to go out there and try to sign petitions and block the traffic and whatever the hell you think you want to do, try to stop what's happening, because there's no stopping it. The scriptures clearly say, when they say peace and safety, and the sudden destruction coming upon them, right? First Thessalonians, was it 5:3? It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Now, mind you, since Donald Trump has gotten office, all he has been talking about is peace and safety, while bombing and destroying everybody, bombing Iran, bombing Venezuela. He bombed a group of people in a circle one time, right? He's just bombing people, right? He's helping Iran. He's providing bombs, right? Their whole plan was for Ukraine to weaken Russia. Nothing is working, right? And the only thing that's happening is that war is drawing closer, and that war is World War III. So there's no slowing down. You even now have something recent I just seen. Russia, Iran, and China are doing like military drills over near Egypt, all right? And they're talking about this drill is for the peace agreement of 2026 or some shit, right? So every time they say peace and safety, destruction coming, all right? So that's the only thing that you got to look forward to, basically, destruction, right? Nothing's going to get better, right? The only thing that's going to get better is that when you see those chariots, right, come beam you up away from all the hell and the destruction is going to be taking place, right? Because that's the only escape. That's when you know you'll be saved once you hit those chariots. Other than that, prepare for rough times. I think the European one of the European chicks out there over in Europe, she was talking to her people, right? And she told them we had a hard time in 2025, but just prepare for it to get worse in 2026. So she told them straight up. I don't think she was joking. It ain't a joke because that's definitely what's gonna happen, but it must happen. So once again, don't try to go out there and stop nothing because you ain't stopping shit. The most that's gonna happen is you get yourself killed. All right. Matthew 24:3, it says, and as he sat upon the mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahweh answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, and shall deceive many. Yeah, false prophets. You got false prophets telling you, we got another 1,000 years here, another 100 years here, whatever the case may be. There's no such thing as Jacob's trouble, right? Basically, there's no such thing as hard times, right? We have already had our hard times, and we have only good things to look forward to. That's not the case. Hard times are coming, right? And they're here. All right, Jacob's trouble is here. Everything is here, and it's only getting worse day by day, as you can see. We have entered into a new phase where these ICE agents are opening up on people, which I got a video here that points out the two incidents that just happened. And it's only going to intensify. We had things regarding, people shooting at vice president's house, shooting at military personnel, people killing fucking National Guard members. Now we have ICE agents shooting civilians. What what the hell do you think is going to happen next? You think somehow this is just going to get better? People are talking about oh, you Republicans, when we take office back, when the Democrats take office back, we're gonna persecute all of you. No, that's not what's happening. The end of the road is here. Okay, it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So all of these things are about to increase, intensify, and get worse. All right, it's not getting better, right? And it needs happen. Okay. So going back over here, let me read some more of this. Right. So I read this. It says it signifies deep-seated tensions and demands for change, whether expressed through lawful assemblies or disruptive unlawful actions. And ultimately, a new world order change is coming, right? These devils are trying to implement their new world order, right? Where they're bringing in their new system, the system that we've been talking about, the digital system, right? The digital age. And as you can see, the world has entered into that. But ultimately, they need it here in America, and they're going to bring order out of chaos. That's why we have a lot of these false flag events happening, right? And basically what the different decrees, right, that Esau Edom has been putting out, right? Isaiah 10 says, Isaiah 10:1, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. So this was pre-planned to fuck your life up. They have pre-planned these plans to fuck your life up, and that's what's happening. That's why people are taking to the streets. People are homeless, sleeping in their cars, right? Working full jobs and can't afford a loaf of bread, whatever the case may be. And super inflation is coming, right? It says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. And this is what they're doing, all right? They're doing all these things to bring about their new plan, their new world order, right? And the people are uproaring in the streets. And ultimately going to lead to what? Martial law, civil unrest. That's you have things like Isaiah 19, right? Says Isaiah 19:1, and the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashman Shai, rideth upon his foot cloud and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, right? The American against the American, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And this is what they want, and this is what's going to happen, right? They're gonna push the people to a point where the people are fighting back, right? And once they get enough people fighting back, they can come in there, put their agents in there, get a bigger crowd to fight back. They can bring martial law. They can close down the cities, right? That's where you get your second Edges 15 and 16, right? And then ultimately, like food stops, all these different things are going to boil out into, big proportions, where everything is collapsed because of these events that are happening now, right? Um, that's pretty much what's happening. Let me grab this upward of the people, just a second. Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I've told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest begins to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upward of the people of the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. Even so, the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and any in effects and signs. Okay, so we are witnessing the effects and signs of the ends, right? We're witnessing these last few prophecies, the wars of the people, the cities being troubled, right? The American against American. It was a Edomite male that shot and killed an Edomite female, right? And it's only going to intensify. Here's a video here.
New video into the newsroom shows moments before a federal agent fatally shoots a woman in Minneapolis. That footage was recorded on an ICE agent's cell phone just before 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good was killed during an encounter with immigration officers.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you. That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out the car. Get out the car. Get out.
The video from Alpha News shows the perspective of the ICE agent getting out of his car and then taking video of Good's vehicle and her license plate. Another woman approaches the ICE agent, and that's when you hear a...
So, hey, usually you have the cops, people, act this way towards the cops, but this is a different thing going on right in these last days. Right, Isaiah 19:3, it says, "In the spirit of Egypt." Let me grab this in the Isaiah 19:3. It says, "The Egyptians will lose heart. I will confuse their plans. They will plead with the idols for wisdom and call on spirits, mediums, and those who consult the spirits of the dead." And this is basically where we're at, right? And that's why they're moving how they're moving. It says, "I will hand Egypt over to a hard, cruel master. A fierce king will rule them, says the Lord Yahweh Bashmiah Shah, the Lord of heaven's armies." All right. So you have this dude in office near 47, and he's giving decrees allowing these Edomite cops, ICE agents, to do the things that they do. That's why when this guy shot this woman, they were saying, well, he has absolute immunity, right? You can't touch him. He's all good. It's all good. Isaiah 19:3 in the KJV, "In the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall steep the idols into the charmers, and to the imaginary spirits, into the wizards." Right. So ultimately, the Most High Yahweh Bashar Shai wants them to make these type of moves to bring about their end, just like I gave you on Second Ezra 9:6, right, where Esau's the end of the world. Okay. So this is the type of spirit they're moving in. It's only going to intensify.
A different federal officer yell at Good to get out of her car. Good starts to drive away, and that's when the federal agent in front of her car fires his weapon. One day after the deadly ICE shooting in Minneapolis, another incident involving federal immigration agents that happened in Portland. Portland police say that a man and a woman were shot during a traffic stop outside a hospital after agents said that the driver allegedly tried to strike them with his vehicle. Both victims were taken to the local hospital. Their conditions remain unknown. The FBI is leading the investigation. Today, protests across the country following two separate shootings by federal agents. A reporter, Brooke Schaefer, is in Minneapolis with a look at protests there.
Tensions are still incredibly high across Minneapolis. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz says he's now authorized the National Guard to be staged and ready. As overnight, we saw more protests throughout the city, hundreds of people marching in the cold rain with signs telling ICE to get out. Protesters in Minneapolis angry over this week's deadly shooting and the immigration crackdown in Minnesota. Protesters are also calling on that ICE agent who shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good to be arrested. We saw that same frustration all day yesterday outside a federal building, where at times that tension boiled into clashes. We saw arrests, pepper spray, and tear gas. Still, protesters say they're not leaving until ICE does.
We shouldn't have to be out here protesting over the death over a woman a mother of children. That it's so wrong. Please get out. Leave us alone.
It was disgusting the way that ICE just murdered her. It was a murder. I know I've seen some people trying to frame it, Donald Trump, a certain way, but we're going to call it what it is. It was a murder.
Despite calls for ICE to leave, DHS says they are not slowing down and are defending that agent still, saying he acted in self-defense. The FBI is...
So if you watch the video, this dude hopped off his car over here. That dude that's shooting was the one that was talking with her. All right. And, this shit is going to happen, bro. These emotional weak men, obviously they're not real cops. They can't handle situations. They're just shooting. And that's not something that the American people are used to, so to say. These type of just peaceful protesters or whatnot, you just, open shooting, whatever the case may be. But like I said, Isaiah 19, that's the spirit that they're in now. Just, wicked, demonic spirit, But anyway, so I just want to blow the horn on that. All right. Because we're in that time. This is Luke 12:54. It says, then Yahushua turned to the crowd and said, NLT, right? When you see clouds beginning to form in the west, you say, here comes a shower. And you are right. When the south winds blow, you say, today will be a scorcher. And it is. You fools, you know how to interpret the weather signs of the earth and sky, but you don't know how to interpret the present times. Why can't you decide for yourself what is right? When you are on the way to court with your accuser, try to settle the matter before you get there. Otherwise, your accuser may drag you before the judge, who will hand you over to an officer who will throw you into prison. And if that happens, you won't be free again until you have paid the very last penny. And also, we're in that time now where it's not time to walk to the street and try to protest and talk to these devils and stop them or anything like that. Because, we're in a time now where when you get caught, you're going to end up thrown on the back of an airplane or something, or sent to a torture camp, right? So like I said, just blowing the horn on that. Lord willing, will edify from the lesson, shalom to the overflow, which consists of, men, women, and children, shalom.